Hey guys, this is Cyrus here. I'm going to bring you a video of a mind map playthrough. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and modded this with an alk so I could get some good old prefixes and suffixes on there. Make it somewhat difficult. This build I'm playing. The build I'm playing is actually Gouda's Flask build. It's not the low life version because I can't afford a shovs, but this is actually the version of the build he used to level up to, I think, about 91 before switching into his low life Flask build. I just wanted to bring some gameplay of this comboed with the mind map. I'm trying to bring around some maps that people don't play that often. The mine, or, well, it's not that people don't play it often, but it's not a very efficient map because of the maze-like build of the map. So as you can see, just going through here right now. Dropping the AoE. One interesting thing about this build is the way to sustain mana is through Warlord's Mark, but if that doesn't apply, as you can see here, I stayed a little bit too away from enemies, and the other way to gain mana back is to block with your shield and then use the ability Tempest Shield and Mana Leech. The combination of those two abilities will sustain your mana properly, if used correctly. As you saw, I did not use it quite correctly there, but anyway, moving on. Let's see, get a little lost right there. So anyway, also you'll notice that I use Ball Spark on this. I use that just for a little extra clearing and a little bit more oomph against single target enemies, so I can just wail away on them and continually leech ES back. I also went Ghost Reaver on this. That's something Gouda didn't do. I'm not even sure if it's the best idea, but that's what I ended up going. That means I actually had to use a life flask, whereas normally with Goudas, you don't necessarily have to use one. Anyway, these enemies go down pretty easily. Nothing too much to worry about. The map isn't overly difficult with the mods that are on here. I do like to consider necromancers aids. They are a very annoying enemy to deal with. Well, not that annoying. The thing that bothers me the most about it is that you don't get experience with things that he reses, which sucks. So you have to waste time killing him. Right here you'll see that this is the boss. He went down like a sack of potatoes. I was surprised he actually went down that fast. I meant to explain something about him a little bit more. His name is Loath in the mind map, but he is essentially a clone of the boss in Act 2, Chamber of Sins. What's his name? Fidelitis. Uses the same ability, Lightning Strike, or something similar to Lightning Strike. Doesn't hit me very hard because with all my flasks up, I have sufficient mitigation capabilities and leeching capabilities to where he basically does nothing and you can sit there and face tank. You can do that with a decent majority of enemies with this build, but unless you have somewhat decent gear. That makes it a little bit more difficult to do if you don't have that good of gear. Even then, my gear isn't the best. I've only put like maybe 1 or 2 exalts into this build. I'm a Poe man. Definitely don't have the currency to get my shovs and finish up this build. But I believe also another thing that the mind map is tier 7, which isn't too difficult. I just wanted to make a little series about different maps and the bosses on them. One thing I find a little troubling is trying to find some pretty good gameplay of the not so much, the maps that are not played so much. I know I see a lot of videos where, at least the videos are quite old, that I find of, like, specifically some of the less played maps. As you can see here, bit of a maze. I keep going around and around. I haven't figured out an efficient way to clear this map. I always try to go around the outsides and then move towards the inside. Sometimes I easily get distracted. But, yeah, got a little legs back there. We in Grey 4 went down pretty easily as well. So, let's see, the mods on this map. The area is inhabited by 2 rogue exiles. Players are cursed with elemental weakness, 23% more monster life, minus 60 or plus 60% monster cold resistance. Monsters cannot be stunned. Area yields 69% more items and 32% increased rarity of items found in this area. And you got a little bit of pack size going on. So the experience gain for this area at my current level 88 is not that great, but it's a really easy map to do with a lot of mods, so great if you want to try to farm some currency. As you can see here, I missed, who knows, I missed a pack or 2 of enemies. I'm just running around trying to see where they could be, but in the end, I think specifically with this, I just call it quits because I didn't feel like having to retrace the entire map just to go through it. So I called it quits a little early, but all in all, the map actually went pretty well. No deaths, thankfully. Alright, this is Cyrus once again. I will see you guys in my next vid.